Hello. Well, thanks very much again for watching my videos on the Jehovah's Witnesses. I can honestly say that it's been very interesting for me, very cathartic, helped me a lot to sort of process my own feelings about the religion and move on a little bit. It's been a long time since I'm out, but it sticks with you. As anyone who was in a cult or an organisation that had an undue influence on people will tell you that it takes a long time to get rid of it, and sometimes you never do. So with that in mind, I would like to continue one of my favourite ones, which is the Young People Ask series. So this was Young People Ask, what's an apostate? I know that whenever I was younger, there was apostates, and they protested outside the assemblies in Dublin, and they used to wear paper bags on their heads, believe it or not. I later found out who they were and what reason they had to protest, which of course was quite valid at the time, but I'll not get into that here. But I remember being told these are apostates, stay away. I was a little kid at the time and really didn't know what it meant, but I knew that they were bad people. So now that I've found myself to be accused of being one, I would like to sort of set the record straight. And if you are a person who's watching this video and you want to know what an apostate is according to the Jehovah's Witnesses, it's a very definite thing. It's a very, very small thing, category, and I'll explain to you what it is. The Jehovah's Witnesses put themselves in the position of of God, right? So the organisation is what you end up worshipping. You don't think you're worshipping it, but you have to do as it says. And if you don't think it's right, you have to show loyalty to Jehovah and do as it says. Even if it's right or wrong, you have to do it. I remember one famous occasion when I was at an assembly. The brother held up a book and he said, brothers, if this book is green and the society says it's green, or red, whatever which way colour it was, but that was generally the point. You do what the society tells you, whether or not you agree. Now, loyalty to Jehovah, that's a very strange idea that you would accept something false on the face of it because Jehovah told you to, or because a group of men in Brooklyn said so, but that's how Jehovah's Witnesses view it. So when I left the Jehovah's Witnesses, I was completely on the basis that I no longer accepted the teachings and that I wasn't prepared to be quiet about that. I became an apostate. Now, does that make me a bad person? I don't think so. I think I'm pretty much the same person I am. But I'm often asked by the voices in my head, actually no, I'm often asked, and I've asked it myself back when I was a witness, why can't you just go away? Why can't you leave quietly? Forget about the witnesses. Move on with your life. Have a good one. Just get over it. Why can't you do that? Well, I suppose I have to say two reasons. Number one, it's your fault. It is. It's your fault. I was taught to do this. You taught me how to do this. Okay? I wasn't particular. I didn't come out of the womb thinking that I was going to spend my days finding people's error in their Bible and teaching them what was correct. You taught me how to do that, and you taught me that it was my duty to tell people. So here I am today, and I am simply fulfilling my responsibility as you told me to. When I find error, I tell you what it is. Now, I've got a book back here which I can dig out. It's a very good one. I recommend it to anyone who's interested in the Jehovah's Witness. Apocalypse Delayed by James Penton, and it basically tells you the history of the Jehovah's Witnesses. It's a history that you won't know. It's a history that you aren't told, and it's a history that unfortunately for you is completely correct. It proves that the Jehovah's Witnesses have absolutely no authority to tell you what to do, that they have a shameful history that includes allowing people to be tortured, raped, murdered, thrown out of their homes, thrown out of their country, in Malawi, because they refused to let them get a party card in a one-party state, because they said that this would be against Jehovah, while at the same time allowing Mexican brothers and sisters, or brothers, to buy forged documents stating that they were in the reserves in the military. So absolutely unbelievable. That's just one of them. The dates, the constant predicting the end of the world, on and on it goes. I don't try to get too deep into the stuff like that, but it really is important to realize, because when you look at me and you think, well, this is an apostate, Well, what do you see? Do you see somebody who's dogmatic, who's desperate to draw people off for himself? Or do you see somebody who simply says, you want to check your history, guys? Your history's wrong, and you want to know that. And if your history's wrong and your history is being used to tell you that you have to follow these people, then why are you following them? Well, what's the other reason that I'm an apostate? Because I'm quite pleased that I am one. I'm quite proud of it. I suppose the other reason is because it's impossible. When you've spent your entire life, as me and so many of my friends that I grew up with are still doing, when you spent your entire life waiting for the end, preaching about the end, thinking about the end, studying books which tell you about the end of the world coming, that tell you about the new system, that tell you about the wicked world outside of the kingdom hall. When you've spent an entire life doing that, it's very difficult to carry on and just enjoy a normal life. A lot of people would describe it, pardon me, a lot of people would describe it as being a survivor of Jehovah's Witnesses. And I know, pardon me, when you're in your current situation, when you're in the Jehovah's Witnesses, you think to yourself, well, that's ridiculous. How are they survivors? I love it in here. Well, you only love it because you don't know what you're missing. Right? You've been accustomed to think that this is normal. It's not normal. It's not normal to be told exactly what to think, to constantly fixate over whether something is or is not a conscience matter for yourself, to ask the elders about sexual practices between husband and wives. It's not normal. No one else does it. Well, only other cults do it. And as I've said before in my videos, I urge you to look at other cults that you're satisfied are wrong, so that you can see the echoes of yourself in their behaviour. As I've said, I've had a lot of good results, a lot of good responses. 2 people have contacted me to tell me that they've left the witnesses over these, and I'm very pleased about that. And if you're a person who's doubting, if you're listening and you're thinking, there's a lot wrong here, there is. I urge you to look at it. The internet is full of the information. Satan didn't put it there. I have no interest in I have no interest in drawing people off for myself or for discouraging your faith. And ironically, I have no interest in taking away your faith as a Jehovah's Witness. All I say is that you should be allowed to make that decision for yourself. You shouldn't have the threat of excommunication hanging over you. If you can make that decision and say to yourself, well, I'm happy and I want to stay a Jehovah's Witness, well, good for you. But the fact of the matter is you can't do that, because if you say the opposite, you're going to get kicked out. You're not going to see your family. You're not going to see your children. You're not going to see your wife. If you're in a job with other Jehovah's Witnesses, you're probably going to get sacked. It's not a fair option. It's not a fair choice for you. So, as I say, I'm happy for you to continue those choices. And many people who leave the Jehovah's Witnesses end up with very similar beliefs. I left, sorry, the film's going to be funny there, but as I left the Jehovah's Witnesses, I held those very similar beliefs for a long time. And not all the same, obviously there was issues that I didn't agree with, but I held very similar beliefs for a long time. And I have no problem if you wish to do that too. But as I said, think for yourself. Have a consideration of that. Read on the Jehovah's Witnesses. Find out, what these terrible apostates are saying and what they think. And I think what you'll discover is that what comes across is not mean-spirited, proud, wise in your own eyes, as they love to call us, but you're going to find someone who's genuine, who's just sick and tired of lies, sick and tired of the bullshit that you probably are too. So thanks very much for listening, and I wish you a very good day. Bye-bye.